Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 15th of September. So we were just discussing how quick this month is flying. It certainly is. Right, and this week is going even quicker. It's getting darker quicker. Goodness. Let's get some trades set up quicker. That's all we need. So before I look at the markets themselves, quick look at the potential risk for today. There's not a great deal here. It's a bit more US stuff. We've seen this Chinese data. In fact, I should really update all of these numbers. One thing I should point out is the positivity we saw around the US data yesterday. Retail sales were up. Inflation was running higher. We look at what happened with the ECB meeting increase. Now, maybe the people I speak to and read from are a little bit more different to what was expected, because I was looking at money markets conversations, and there was a 75% chance of an increase, or priced in that it would be 4.5% yesterday. So it didn't really shock me at all when I saw this increase, 0.25% central bank rate. What was also didn't shock me is that it popped and dropped. It literally had a little tiny pop and then dropped as they announced that would probably be it for an extended period, but that would be it. How long that extended period is another matter, but there we go. Now, just having a quick look here then. So this morning we've seen Chinese data out, which has certainly fueled the Asian markets and made cheer out of there. Back here we got Lagarde speaking this morning, press conference, Eurogroup meeting in Spain. Okay, so it's press conference later on. I should imagine most of what she was going to say would have been said yesterday, but we'll see. You never know. Watch out. Maybe you want to retract something. So we got Empire State Manufacturing Index later for the US. Industrial production, so manufacturing and production in the focus later on, pretty key in a market that's been looking like it's been contracting quite a bit. So we'll see how that's working out, and followed by the consumer sentiment later on. Okay, so not major, but key news, but we should be able to get on with business today. So what happened? Euro yesterday broke down its it was forming a wedge there, drawn in the morning session, rolled over, looking on the softer side, of course, from that. Now it's getting a retrace here. This is not a surprise at all. It's whether or not it can hold, and I'm looking at the daily pivot here and just thinking, well, that would be a nice short if it starts reversing there. We've effectively got the flag. We'll see what happens there, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a continuation of this, but it might do. But it's a downward trend, so I want to trade with the trend. Likewise, the pound trending strongly down here, 4 hourly wise down, and we've got this retracement. Now we've come to the underside of my main pivot here. This is my level, Kim's pivot it should be known as. We're on the underside of that. We'll just see how well that holds up. It does have its daily pivot just fractionally above it, so but a key level around that area to see what happens. It's also a near-term low was around this same area, so waiting again. I would like the euro to pop and hit, and the pound to hit at the same time. This may flap through a little bit. The euro may never hit, and this may roll. They seem to be rolling quite tightly in the pictures. Dollar yen, what a mess. It's a mess, but it's still a sort of a bullish mess, with the dollar still gaining strength here against the yen. It's ugly this morning. It had its retrace yesterday, pushed back up then, and well, anyway, it's too much of a mess for me at the moment. Aussie dollar outperforming somewhat here yesterday, and we're already seeing it pushing up this morning. The Chinese data, or positive Chinese data, will have a knock-on effect to the Aussie, with as their major supplier of raw materials to China. Anything that's positive can, as I say, wash over So positive data there, a solid move up there. It's been a horrible market with in the last couple of days at least, with quite a lot of chop at times. The Aussie, it's already done everything this morning, so there isn't a great deal I can do there or want to do there, but I will be looking back at the positive side as we run into next week. US dollar CAD. Well, the CAD did alright yesterday as well, whilst the other markets were faltering. The CAD and another commodity currency did alright out of it all, and it's continued strengthening against the US dollar here. So remember this US CAD, so the US coming off there. We're seeing some support here now. It's got back to these prior lows coming here as well. So it's got a double bottom and a bigger double bottom. So not the easiest to run through there. Don't know why I'm looking at New Zealand dollar. Let's just look away from that. Euro yen, just looking at some of these other pairs here, cross pairs that I like generally. This has started pushing up with the strength of the euro. Nothing I got immediately. It's already pushed through its pivot. It might react to the 34 here or the 50. Might get some reaction to give us a reversal. But the one thing with the euro yen, of course, it was solidly pushing up at one stage, although it's in a bitty odd area where it's sitting at the moment. The cross pairs that I like to trade, the euro Aussie. Let's just come down the time frames on these. They've carried on moving solidly down yesterday. We'll see what develops today. I'd like to be on the short side of this if I could, but it needs a bit more of a retrace to get some value. Same here with the euro CAD. Yeah, it's broken solidly out of that trend line. It's pushing away nicely, so we'll see what develops. But I'm just really here. What I'm looking to trade is probably a reaction to its daily pivot. We'll see if it gets up there. If it can react to that, well, I'm in. Pound Aussie, similar picture with the pound Aussie and the pound CAD. Pound CAD absolutely flew yesterday. It's not getting much of a retracement, and again, if this gets back to the pivot, it's got the same old picture. I'm just waiting for these flags to actually appear. This one might not make it, and we'll see what happens post 8 o'clock, but it's in a solid sort of flaggy pattern at the moment. Okay, we will leave it there on the majors unless you guys want anything else covered, and we'll quickly flick over here, look at what's happening. Let's have a look at gold first. Gold managed to get a bit of a bounce here yesterday. Eventually, was looking very bearish in the morning. Managed to push on here, and we're seeing a bit more positivity. I'm still a seller rather than a buyer, but having said that, it's now put a higher low in on the hourlies. It's just showing the signs of a possible reversal, but don't get too drawn on it because of what it's doing here. And it's just a case of watching this morning. If it starts selling off here again, we've got the flaggy pattern, and we could be seeing a continuation to the downside on this 4-hourly time, this intermediate time frame. We've got lower highs kicking through there, and it's still pretty bearish. And largely on the daily picture is still bearish, although it's starting to consolidate among. Anyway, we'll see what develops there. Oil. Well, oil had another surge yesterday. It's as I said, I've raised my expectations for oil prices now, but didn't really get into a trade yesterday. It did eventually. It went at about 11 o'clock. Went a bit too early. It was sort of setting up down here in the morning. I was thinking, well, might be a bit more steady, but it's just gone. Just went, and all the other news out there at the same time. It was best. Well, couldn't get into a trade this morning. Getting a bit of a retrace. Would love to see it come back to this pivot here. Ready for the afternoon session. Okay, equity markets looking here. Looking firstly, briefly at the US markets. I'm just going to look at these from a bigger picture here. Well, all that data yesterday, you might have thought that it would put more pressure on interest rate increases, etc., and it certainly improved the dollar, but the equity markets went with it, and we're looking more positive here. We put a higher low in on this 4-hourly basis, and it's certainly looking more positive. Again though, I need to get some value to buy. If I was to buy this, I need a retrace. At the moment it's just hanging there. It's a little bit I won't say overbought as such, but it's just got ahead of itself maybe. If I say overbought, everyone wants to sell it immediately. So same with these other markets here. The Dow, yeah, looking a bit more positive. Not as positive as the S&Ps, and the Nasdaq. Well, still a bit sluggish here. Not really getting the kicker, but I don't think it'd take much for them to break out this consolidated phase. But of course, we've got next week we're going to be sitting there with US central bank decision, the Fed decision. Okay, looking at the DAX then, good day for it yesterday. As expected, when they talk about that's it for interest rates for now, it's giving a bit of cheer there. It's maybe capping out, topping out, and it was taken positively here on the DAX, for example. Well, again, if you wanted to get into this, for me, I'd have to be patient and wait. But it is looking more positive than it has been for a while. FTSE always was. It was outperforming, but yesterday it got a good kicker there. Yesterday, it's okay. It's around the double top area here at the moment, but I think with the price of oil, etc., commodity prices pushing up, it'll have a positive effect there on the FTSE. Right, that's pretty much it. Now I haven't done it for a long time, so I'll have a very quick look at those other currencies that you like so much, and we'll look at Bitcoin. So we've been seeing a bit of a recovery in the last couple of days there, 3 days, and Bitcoin looking a bit more positive at the moment. Still got a lot to do. It's still to me it's in quite a negative area and could easily backpedal itself. Ethereum the same. It's same old. I realise that some people will be trading this intraday on some of these movements. There's enough movement to try and make a bit of money, but overall, to me, these are still hanging in that sort of bearish zone. So there we go. Have a quick look at those. I'm going to wish you a great day's trading, and I'll catch you Monday morning. In fact, I will be, if you want the update later on, if you're in my Discord or Telegram rooms, you'll get an update later this afternoon to see what's happening. Okay, catch you later. Bye for now.